Once considered an Atlanta legend, he is now going down one of the fastest fall-offs a rapper has ever seen. Young Thug, aka Slime, aka Jeffrey, is now having one of the worst PR runs after prison we have ever seen. This is honestly sad given how much Thug was loved in Atlanta and how he ran the rap scene from 2014 to 2018. From the legendary Take Care mixtapes, the Barter 6, Jeffrey, going to prison over a RICO charge, things have changed drastically. Jay, if you see this video, I'm sorry shorty, but I had to talk about Slime. My name is Bugzey, and today I'll be discussing how Young Thug fell off and why this affects the Atlanta scene. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a subscribe. Let's talk about the rise of Young Thug. Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Lamar Williams II, born on August 16, 1991 in Atlanta, Georgia, was once revered in the rap scene. Slowly coming up in 2014 and blew up in 2015 with the Barter 6, it shook the rap scene. Young Thug, who is averaging around 27 million monthly listeners, is someone who has a 50-50 fan base. You either like Jeffrey or you don't. At first, I was not a fan of Young Thug, but that was due to him allegedly shooting up Lil Wayne's tour bus and Birdman seemingly replacing Lil Wayne. However, when I first heard Slime Season 1 for the first time, everything changed. Young Thug released a mixtape in 2011 known as I Came From Nothing 2, which went under the radar for the most part. He then dropped a 1017 Thug trilogy, which brought more attention to the rising star. 2015 is when Thug got on the map as the Lil Wayne replacement with the Barter 6. The streets felt that the Barter 6 was a jab at Lil Wayne and was the beginning of Birdman replacing Wayne. The most popular song on the album being Check with That and Halftime. Thug's popularity soon started to grow. The auto-tune, Blood Gang affiliation, and the locks grew along with much of the Atlanta underground. Slime Season 1 followed after Barter 6 on September 16, 2015, and many people fell in love with Thug. Popular songs on Slime Season 1 being Take Care, Quarterback, Best Friend, Power, and again, Ran Spin Rilla, and Live mixtape. Take Care was one of the songs that went incredibly hard and surprised people because of the Lil Wayne feature. People wanted to see more collabs between Thug and Wayne, but figured that would not happen after the tour bus incident. During this time, it was unclear what kind of person Thug was because of how different he was compared to rappers coming out during that time. A month later, we have the popular Slime Season 2, which was released. Arguably one of his best mixtapes and the mixtape that truly blew him up. The popular songs on the album being Thief in the Night, Pulled Up on a Kid, Big Racks, and Raw. It took over Vine and all music sites. This was Young Thug's era and nobody was blowing up as fast as Thug, and his fan base was growing rapidly. 2016 is a legendary year for Jeffrey with the albums I'm Up, Slime Season 3, and Jeffrey coming out. Popular songs from these albums being F Cancer, Hercules, With Them, Lime Shit, Digits, Memo, Wyclef Jean, Goo Wop, and Pick Up the Phone. We cannot forget about Harambe, which also dropped on Jeffrey. Jeffrey, in my opinion, is probably one of Thug's best albums, but I think it's also one of the most popular albums. Out of these three albums, Jeffrey might be one of the most legendary albums that came out from Thug, mainly due to the album cover along with the songs on the album. Seeing Thug in the dress was bringing a lot of different allegations towards the rapper. There were some gay allegations, but when people asked Thug why he had the dress on, he simply said, I had to stick under the dress. Pretty simple reason to why he had the dress on, which people were not buying. Fast forward to 2017 to 2021, Thug had released 6 projects, including a collaboration with Future on Super Slimy and with YSL on Slime Language 2. His last album that he released before going to jail was the album Punk, which featured a song with Mac Miller right before he passed away. Now comes the downfall of Young Thug once he went to prison and afterwards. Young Thug released the album Business is Business while in prison, and it did not do well. During this time, people were not impressed with the album, even with the feature from Drake. The feature from Drake did not put the album in the top 100. The YSL R.I.C.O case was something that took the world by surprise. The way the case was looking, Thug was not going to see the light of day, and worst of all, the Gunna rat allegations started to come out. For those who don't know, Gunna was signed to YSL, and the duo between Thug and Gunna was incredible. The hip-hop streets quickly turned on Gunna when he was released from jail. For those who don't know what happened to Young Thug, he and his record label were charged with a R.I.C.O. A R.I.C.O is a Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, which is used to combat organized crime. To sum it up, Young Thug and YSL were allegedly operating as a criminal enterprise and a gang. After being in custody for over 900 days, Young Thug was finally released on October 31st, 2024, after entering a non-negotiated plea deal and receiving 15 years of probation. After he was released, Thug started talking on Twitter about how Gunna was still a rat. People were hoping that Jeffrey would move on and make some music, but instead he went down a different direction. In July of 2025, audio recordings from Young Thug's prison's phone calls started getting leaked. This is the worst thing that happened for Young Thug because of what was said over the calls. Phone calls describing that it was Jeffrey that snitched, which caused many people to side-eye him. In August of 2025, there were leaked recordings of Jeffrey talking bad about Maria the Scientist, who was his girlfriend, Future, Glorilla, Drake, Andre 3 Stacks, Lil Durk, and Gucci Mane. Recently, Young Thug went on an interview with Banks and a lot was said. During the interview, Thug talked about how hurt he was and how the friendship ending was more painful than he could imagine. A good interview, but does not change the fact he talked bad regarding his friends who supported him while he was in prison. Turning on your friends is probably not the best thing to do, and is just the beginning of his downfall. There was a leaked diss track from Thug that came out where he addressed certain members of R.I.C.O. I forgot to mention what was part of Thug's probation, which can lead to his downfall. The probation is 15 years, banned from Metro Atlanta area, 100 hours of community service, prohibited from promoting gang-related content, and must not have contact with known gang members, including his brother and Gunna. This is interesting, mainly because he's unable to rap about topics which blew him up in the first place, and he is not even allowed in Atlanta except 4 times a year for 2 weeks at a time. I do not think that Thug will be able to recover from this, and I consider his career done. Let's wrap up the video. The downfall of Young Thug started to occur after he continued to call Gunna a rat, and the phone calls from prison leaked. Not only did it show Jeffrey not appreciating what his friends did for him while he was in prison, he talked badly on everybody, even go as far to say he would start a new family with a new woman while Maria the Scientist held him down. Music-wise, I do not know how he will be able to make anything good without bringing in Gunna or those who he felt wronged him. I believe that this will tarnish Thug's legacy even with all the legendary music he has made in the past. Him turning his back on his friends is something people would not forget. It will be hard for him to get features from the people who he talked poorly about. Regardless, this is all speculation and we will not know what happens with Thug's career until we wait. Let me know in the comment section, do you think that Young Thug is falling off? Actually, I think it's insane how Jeffrey said that Andre 3 Stacks did not do anything for Atlanta. Not only is it a lie, but to say that regarding an Atlanta legend is insane. I really hope that Thug can make somewhat of a recovery, but I just do not think it's going to happen with the limitations of what he can rap about and just the bridges he has burned over the last couple of months. Who all knows what can happen with Young Thug? If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will catch you in the next video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and see you later, Bass Cowboy.